Good evening, Wilmington. This meeting is now called to order. This is the Public Works and Transportation Committee meeting for February 19th, 2025. I am Council Member Chris Johnson from the 7th District. I'm chairing this meeting as Chairwoman Oliver had a previous commitment. At this time, I'd like to call a roll of the committee members to see who's present. Councilmember Oliver is excused. Vice Chair Nathan Field.
Present.
Councilmember Kobe Owens.
Here.
Councilmember Christian Woolauer.
Here.
And Council President Congo.
Here.
And I can't see the Zoom, but if there's any other council members on Zoom, please let me know. All right. All right. And as a friendly reminder, only members of the committee should be making motions and seconding. If there's no questions from members of the council, we can just proceed right to the agenda. It actually is a pretty light agenda, as we are going into budget season. There will be a lot more in the agenda, but for now, we have a resolution opposing Senate Bill 43 with Senate Amendment Number 2 regarding the Board of Plumbing and Heating, Ventilation, Air Conditioning, and Refrigeration Examiners. The prime sponsor is Council President Congo, and I would like to also recognize Councilmember Hackett. All right, Council President Congo.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a resolution that is going to oppose the state allowing certain people who are in the HVAC industry to kind of go around the requirements that have always been the standard here in the city of Wilmington. I've been approached by several people from the public, several people from the industry, and also from some legislators down in Dover who also oppose this. And there are people here who want to speak to it, who can speak to it much more intelligently than I can. So when it's time for public comment, I would love for them to be able just to come and educate us, educate the viewing audience on why they also oppose what is on the agenda in Dover.
Okay. All right. And at this time, there's no one from the administration. And yes, I would like to call for public comment on this matter. So if there's members of the public here to speak on this matter, please announce your name and where you're from, and the floor is yours.
Good evening. My name is Marvin Newton. I used to be a worker for L&I for years. I sit on the L&I Plumbing and HVAC Committee now as it stands. The city of Wilmington has always had their own standards long before the state came along. When the state decided to get involved with the HVAC part, it was mainly due to a lot of contractors couldn't get in other states. So the state of Maryland, Virginia, told some of the contractors, if you guys come up with a state license, we will grandfather you in without taking a test. I opposed it then, told them it would be a problem. One of the things that the state did, when they did decide to come up with the program, they had to let everyone downstate in Georgetown, Seaford, that was farmers. They had a window that was open for 1 year that allowed you to come in and get a license. You didn't have to take no test. All you had to show is that you owned a farm. They gave you an HVAC license. When they did that back in 2000, Mr. Knight will tell you, we informed the state, when those folks come to Wilmington, they're not gonna walk in here and get a license. They're gonna go back, they're gonna go through the background check like we always done. We have a lot of fraud applicants upstairs that we have turned into the state. I can tell you, me in the past, Commissioner Jeff Starkey went down. One of our complaints is they don't investigate. They basically let the applicant turn in the application, look at his paperwork, and they let him sit for an exam. I can tell you, we have turned in, I know me personally, I've turned at least 15 folks to the state. Michael Borkins, who was with Jeff Starkey before land use became land use, found 3 applicants, turned them into the state, they still got a license. In fact, one of the guys that we turned in is here now because he heard that the city was going to let them get their license. He's back here now looking for a license. This is the same guy we turned into the state and they didn't do nothing with. And when we went to the plumbing board down there, they said, We don't have the manpower. We don't have time to do a background check. So what we do in the city of Wilmington, when you come in, we check your W-2s. We call you employers. Mr. Borgens called the one company. It was like 4 companies that he called that this young man said he worked for, that he did 3 years. He only worked there 3 months. So we denied him. So if you allow this law to go in, you're going to have a lot of people who never worked in a trade, got a license. Also, when the state did the licensing, and you can check the record, they even allow people who worked in apartments. So if you worked on a farm downstate, and you can show that you worked in an apartment building, you got a license. And to show you that they don't do too good of a job checking, and I'm not taking no cheap shots at the state, you saw what happened with the nursing. It was an embarrassment during the pandemic. 3 states got caught up with the nursing license. Why? Because the state not gonna check. They don't have the manpower. So they're asking for, there are a group of contractors who met with Jeff Starkey, who wanted us to do what they're trying to do now, and we said no. So they said, you know what, don't worry about it, we'll go downstate and change the law. And that's what this is all about. This is all about a group of contractors who refuse to come in and pass the test like myself and so many other people, and they want to buck the system. And the state don't do it back. I'm gonna tell you right now, they don't have the manpower. They do not do background checks. You turn in your application, they look at it, they vote on it, and they let you through. Now, Mr. Knight is a prime example. There's a bunch of L&I inspectors who have taken the same exam that the state give, and they all passed it. The same exam that Mr. Knight had to take and some of our inspectors is the same state plumbing and HVAC. The city of Wilmington exam consists of code and practical knowledge. This city is too condensed. You allow one of these contractors in one of these houses, and one house go up, the whole block is gonna go up. We can't allow these folks to come in because they got a state license and say, don't worry about the requirements, you're gonna get a license because you got a state license. It shouldn't be that way. And I'm only here because of 2 reasons. One, to protect the public. That's what I've always done. When I got hired back in 1996, that's the first thing that young man told me. I need you to protect the public. You're not here to be friends. You're here to protect the citizens of Wilmington. And now I feel like that ain't what we're doing now. We got contractors who just trying to find a way to break through the system. Come in, meet the requirements, take a test like everybody else do, and get a license. So, I mean, I hope I explained it to you, but this is what this all boils down to. A lot of folks can't pass the exam. A lot of folks don't meet the requirements. I can tell you we have applicants upstairs, because I reviewed some of them. I don't know how they made it through the state, and the state has the same requirements. You need 7 years. You have to show 7 years that you served and worked under a master. And when you look at some of these applications, they only got 3 or 4 years, and you say, how did you get a state license? So I can tell you, if you guys allow this bill to go through, you're gonna have a bunch of folks who never worked in this industry, either because they worked at an apartment building or they own a farm. That means you have to give them a license. You can't discriminate. So if Trippy has a farm in Seaford and he said, look, I got a state Delaware HVAC license, what you gonna tell him? No? But I'm gonna tell Kobe he can have his because he showed that he worked. So I'm just telling you, I know firsthand. I'm in the trenches. I see the stuff. I review the stuff. I make phone calls, and I see the undermined stuff that folks turn in paperwork that's fraudulent. I can't make the state do nothing with them, but I turn them in, and then they get mad with me and say, you know, this ain't the only board we see. We see the electrical board, teachers. We see cosmetology. So that board oversees about 15 other trades down there. And they don't have the manpower to do the background check. We're just fortunate enough that we do up here, we do a thorough background check. We take everybody through the same process. And when they don't meet the requirements, they don't sit for the test, and we don't care if you have a state license or not. You still have to go through our application. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you being here as a more or less a subject matter expert. Thank you for sharing your time. And I guess my question is, and I'm kind of getting schooled on this issue recently since Council President brought it to our Public Works Committee. Do you know what the impetus is? Because I see the prime sponsors, Spiros Metavinos from Ellesmere. Do you know why the General Assembly is looking to do this?
Well, like I said before, there's been contractors. The unions have spoken to Jeff Starkey.
Okay.
Jeff has no, we're not doing that. We're here to protect the public. We're not going to change the rules. Look, the rules are what the rules are. Everybody's going to play by the same rules. So generally what happens is when folks don't get their way, then they figure they'll change the law. So they met with us before, and Jeff has always pushed back, we're not doing it. So they figured, let me go over here and talk to such and such, and we'll get the law changed. And listen, the same thing with the police. You know what happens in Wilmington. When they don't like the way things is, and it's not fair to the city of Wilmington.
Yeah, because I didn't see any city legislators on there. It's county, or at least the people that I see on the sponsorship list. So that answers my question. Thank you.
So I just want to
Yes.
add to that. So this bill has already passed the Senate, and now it's in the House. Both our senators who were still in office, so Senator Brown and Senator Lockman, voted no on this because it does affect us. Me personally, I think, a bill like this, when it attacks home rule, they should at least come to us since we're the main ones being affected by this. There was no conversations had by Spiros, by Ed, or any of the sponsors on this bill. This is them just operating in a vacuum of power where they're trying to take away home rule right now. If we want to have more qualified individuals working here in the city of Wilmington, I think we should have the power to do that, right? It's protecting our residents who are already residents who are taken advantage of by other industries in this city. So for them to put a bill up like this, and again, I just want to say thank you to Council President Congo for sponsoring this to oppose it. Again, it's very harmful, and we'll see the impact that it has on our citizens if it does get past the House. But we need our Wilmington delegation down there to stand strong and vote no on this.
And let me remind you, there is no shortage of plumbers or HVAC in this town. There are none. And one of the things that we noticed with the applicants is because at one point in time, I guess when all that harbor money was coming into Wilmington, everybody was running into Wilmington. And everybody trying to get their own people on board. So there's no shortage. There's a list upstairs. There's no shortage at all. But let me just say, we've always set the standard. We were in the testing business before the state got in the testing game. And it just really bothered me that now all of a sudden, we set the tone of what you should be doing, and now you just want to come along and say, you ain't doing it no more? You don't want us to even do a background check? And then when I ask you, well, here's the applicants that we found, and we laid it out. And, Michael Borgens is a cop. He knows how to investigate. When he laid the complaint out, it was done so like ABC. A first-year law school could have went to court and won that case. And he laid it out for him, but this gentleman still got his license. And he's back this week asking for his license when we turned him in 4 years ago. Oh, I heard y'all got to give me a license. I don't have to take no test because of the new law. What? So I just want y'all to, I appreciate you supporting us. It's not about us trying to be better. It's just about the citizens. And I think we all signed up to protect the citizens. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Any questions from members of the committee?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Council President.
Councilman Owens, do we know when this is going to come before the?
Probably not until March when they're
March.
back in session, but there's the committee hasn't been set yet.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Very well. Any other comments from members of the committee? Any other comments from any other council members? All right. Then I'll turn it to any members of the public, either virtually or in chambers. Anyone else want to make any comments regarding this? We appreciate the community coming. All right. With that, I will turn it to, this is a resolution, so it does not need to be voted. Okay. Christian Woolhour, you have your hand up? Or no?
No, but I'll just say, not everybody knows how to take care of their house, and so it's really important that we have qualified contractors. And so I appreciate you upholding a standard. Thank you for being here, and thank you to President Congo for putting this resolution forward.
Okay, very well, and I would like to recognize Councilmember Bracy as well. Thank you for joining us. And this is a resolution, so it does not need to be voted formally out of committee. And I believe this will be on the council agenda. Is it going to be on tomorrow, Miss English? Do we know?
It'll be from March the 6th.
March the 6th. Okay, so it'll be the March the 6th meeting. Okay. All right. Very well. So, any other comments, Council President, on this matter?
No, I just want to thank Mr. Newt for for coming up and helping us to understand how important this is. I think it's going to be really important that when this is up for vote in March in Dover, that we are able to support not only through this resolution, but actually physically be in the building. I think it's going to be really important to help them understand how important this is for the city of Wilmington and its safety. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, this is a very important topic, so I appreciate Council President bringing this to our attention. And just to let you know, Council President and all of us are hard at work trying to bring the city's voice down to Dover. So I appreciate everyone staying tuned with us. And it was really a brief agenda. I promise next month we're going to have a lot more items as we go into budget time. So we appreciate everyone being here. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So motion.
All right.
Second.
All right. So properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. All right. All right. I'll see everyone next month. Take care.